All right, let's talk about the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It is going to be the biggest one we have ever seen. But bigger also means a brand new expanded format that, let's be honest, can be a little confusing. Don't you worry though, that's what we're here for. We're going to break down exactly how this whole thing works. So here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the big picture changes. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the group stage and that tricky new third place puzzle. From there, we'll map out the path to the final, and most importantly, we'll talk about what all of this actually means for us, the fans. Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the biggest World Cup. You know, it's not just about adding more teams. It's about how that single change really ramps up the drama right from day one. And it all starts with this number, 48. Yep, for the very first time, 48 nations will be competing for the World Cup trophy. That is a huge jump from the 32-team format we've all gotten used to for decades. And trust me, it changes everything. So you're probably wondering, how do you fit 16 extra teams into the tournament? Well, you just add more groups. We're going from that familiar 8 groups of 4 all the way up to a massive 12 groups of 4. And this completely changes the math and the strategy for the entire opening round. All right, Section 2, surviving the group stage. So with 48 teams all starting out, the first big challenge is this. How do you whittle that number down to just 32 for the do-or-die knockout rounds? And just so we're all on the same page, the knockout stage means exactly what it sounds like. You win or you go home. There are absolutely no second chances here. One loss and your World Cup dream is over. Okay, here's the key difference. Finishing first or second in your group still gets you that automatic ticket to the next round. But now there's a new lifeline, a kind of second chance for some of the teams that finish in third place. So here's how the math breaks down. You take the top 2 teams from each of the 12 groups. That gives you 24 automatic qualifiers. Then you add in the 8 best third place teams, and voila, you've got your 32. That's right, a full 2/3 of the teams are now going to make it out of the group stage. So that brings us to Section 3, the third place puzzle. Now this is easily the most confusing part of this new system. How in the world do those 8 best third-place teams get slotted into the bracket? And it's a super important question, right? You can't just draw their names out of a hat. The whole system has to be set up to keep the bracket balanced, and you definitely can't have teams from the same group playing each other again right away. FIFA's solution is this complex but actually pretty clever combination table. Think of it like a preset formula. It all depends on which specific groups those 8 third-place teams come from. Based on that combination, the table automatically assigns them a specific opponent in the knockout round. Now let's just look at a quick example. Don't worry about memorizing this, just get the idea. If the qualifying teams come from the groups in that top row, the matchups are set. But if a different combination of teams gets through, like in that second row, you can see the matchups for the group winners actually change. It's all predetermined to keep things as fair as possible. Okay, on to Section 4, a path to the final. Once all the group stage dust settles and we know who our 32 teams are, the path to glory becomes crystal clear. It's a 5-game single elimination sprint to the finish line. So the biggest change here is an entirely new stage, the round of 32. This means that to win the World Cup now, a team has to survive 5 of these sudden death matches. That's one more massive hurdle than ever before. And for the 2 nations that somehow managed to navigate that 5-game gauntlet, their epic journey will end right here, with a shot at lifting the most famous trophy in all of sports. So in total, this expanded knockout stage gives us 32 absolutely thrilling win-or-go-home matches. Half of those, a full 16 games, are in that new round of 32, followed by the progression we all know and love, the round of 16, the quarterfinals, and on from there. So let's get to the final section, what it means for fans. We've gone through all the numbers and the rules, but what does this all actually mean for us watching at home? Well, in short, it means more of what we love, more high-stakes knockout soccer, a whole new round of 32 to fill out in your bracket, which is pretty cool. And because 2/3 of the teams advance, a single slip-up in the group stage isn't a death sentence anymore. This could open the door for some major underdog stories, some real Cinderella runs. This might just be the best way to think about it. It's basically March Madness for the entire world. A 32-team single elimination bracket just creates that thrilling, unpredictable atmosphere where you feel like anything can happen. And that, right there, is probably the most exciting question this new format leaves us with. With a more forgiving path out of the groups, the stage is absolutely set for a team to come from seemingly nowhere and capture the world's imagination. Who's it going to be?